CSGO skins. Virtual in-game items that have no purpose except to make you and your stuff look pretty. Love them or hate them, they are a very fun addition to the game and they present a whole new system to the game. Certain CSGO skins can reach values up to thousands of dollars and people actually turn these skins into real cash. Now that sounds crazy considering that these are virtual items. Trading with CS items and items in general can be very useful, and if you're remain consistent, you can turn your skins into games or even real cash. With this video I will give you a few tips if you're starting out in trading or if you're a trader already, so stick around as we take a look into the current state of trading in CS. Now, trading in general has had quite a rocky path in the past few years, meaning that Valve implemented some pretty crazy updates that made things very difficult to the end user, which in this case is you. Back in 2015, which was the golden year of CS in my opinion, when gambling was still a thing, trading was much easier and making a profit in every trade was very doable. In this period of time I went from nothing to a knife 3 times and I was able to turn my inventory into a few $100s without investing $1 in it. I would either trade for a video game or cash out for real cash. Things were way more simple and not everyone was looking for profit. You can easily find somebody who's just looking for an item that you have and he's not looking to profit, he's not looking to for an overpay, and he's also certainly not concerned about a few cents that he loses over a trade. The market, the Steam community market, was also way smaller, there weren't that many skins, and the prices were relatively more stable. But now you're probably wondering, oh Xenon, you gay! Isn't having more items available to get better than having less items? Which to some point I agree, but to prove my point here's an example. Back in 2015, if you wanted to get yourself a knife, the cheapest one, the lowest tier knife, was either a gut knife Safari Mesh field tested or a flip knife Royal Forest also in field tested. They were both starting at 40 euros and sometimes they would drop around 35-36 euros, whereas nowadays an entry level knife, which as of recording of this video is a Navajo Safari Battle Scarred, that one starts at 62 euro, while the flip knife Royal Forest that we just mentioned is starting at 88 euro. Also, in-game drops were very useful. Almost all cases that you could get from a drop were around 40 cents. That means Phoenix and Breakout and Huntsman were all around 40 cents, while as of today, the only case that you can relatively get from a drop is a Prisma case, and that's worth around 40 cents. And that's also a lot harder to get because of the constant amount of graffiti that you're getting all the time from drops. This may seem like everything is going downhill for Valve, and you're actually wondering, has Valve actually implemented some Now, this may seem insignificant to some of you, but these additional 40 to 50 cents, which over time turn into €1 or maybe even €2, were very useful for upgrading your item, and it's also very cool since you get these additions by just playing the game. A year goes by and Valve gets under fire for out-of-control gambling. They were accused for letting children gamble, for allowing scamming websites and scammers to exploit their platform, and many more. So Valve had to issue a huge ban which basically bans all gambling on all websites, so all these websites had to close down. Now, I'm not gonna cover gambling in this video, but I will make a separate video talking about gambling, so definitely stay tuned for that. But back to the topic. Now, this whole controversy arguably left a mark on Valve, meaning that they got more serious about implementing their rules, and after the fall of gambling comes the dark age of the trade community. 2 years after, Valve forced OP skins to stop using their intellectual property, and OP skins were the safest place for you to cash out if you were looking to basically turn all that trading skills into profit and free money. Now, only a few months prior to this, Valve issued this update.
Click it, rip it, up to 200 scale miles per hour.
To put it simply, Valve issued an update in which every item that you receive in a trade is trade locked for 7 days, which means that it becomes retradable again after that 7-day period. This is a huge obstacle in your way of trading to your goal. Not only will it take so much more time, especially if you have a single item that you're constantly upgrading, but one of the biggest problems is that the item, now we're talking about normal items and low to mid tier knives, is that the value of the skin can significantly change during that 7-day period. Now if the price goes up, then you're in luck. But what if you aren't lucky? Let's look at a live scenario. Let's say you have an AK-47 Redline field tested, which is 12.5 euro, and you would like to trade to an AK-47 Red Laminate, also in field tested, which is 14 euros. Since most people will ask for an overpay since they're downgrading, you add 2 euros worth of ads, and you get your AK Red Laminate. Now 3 days after, that same AK Red Laminate is now worth 13 euro, and on the 7th day, the value of the red laminate is still at set 13 euro. So you either have to wait for the price to go up again, or you basically have to make amends that you've basically lost €1 on that trade. Now if that red laminate didn't have that trade ban, you could just retrade it immediately before the price changes and you wouldn't be losing any money. Now multiply this by how many trades you do, and yeah, it doesn't look too good. So as you can see, trading from nothing to a knife is very, very difficult. So how does one trade in these dark times? Now before you start your trading journey, you should come up with 2 things, a goal and a strategy. A goal means that you know what item or items you want to trade to. Maybe you want to have an inventory with good skins, or maybe you want to keep upgrading a single item like a knife or something else. Or maybe you want to get a color themed inventory, or maybe you want to get keys so you can trade them for games and maybe resell them for cash. And the strategy means is that you should pick a way of trading and a trading style that you want. Maybe you want to trade in specific floats, maybe you want to trade in rare items, maybe you want to trade with cases, sticker capsules, maybe you want to reinvest in a specific branch of items, or maybe you just want the classic way of always trading and retrading your item and your items. Now a goal is up to you to determine. But let's talk about the different strategies when it comes to trading and making profit. Where to trade? This is a very delicate question, because the trading community has sort of split apart since the 7-day update. I used to look for people to trade with on CSGO Lounge, but that also kind of died. Most of these posts are very outdated, the website has a lot of technical problems, and there are a lot of Russian scammers on it. You can still find decent trade and people that are willing to trade here, but it's just not sufficient. You can also join CSGO trade servers. There are a few left, and you can post your offers into chat. Also you can join Steam trade groups and join their chat rooms where people chat and trade, basically, where you can post your offers. You can also use CSGO TradeRed, which is also really efficient because there's a lot of people using it. Now this last one is kind of a mixed bag. I'm talking about the trade bot sites. If you aren't familiar with these, this is where you swap your items with the website items using the trade bot system. And there's a variety of trading websites with each having its own perks and cons. On CS Money you can trade your skins for video games on Steam or maybe other platforms. On LOOT.Farm you can trade in your less popular skins that other sites wouldn't take, so it all depends on what type of deal you stumble upon. Usually skins on these websites are on a trade hold, so they will be cheaper than those who are not on a trade hold. But if you find a skin where you pretty much break even in the trade and get to upgrade, or maybe even if you lose a couple of cents on that trade, you should always go for it. Yeah, you would wait for your skin to arrive for a few days, but it's always worth upgrading your items from a trade perspective. If you're a guy that wants to play with skins, then maybe this method isn't for you. But if you're looking from a trade perspective to always be upgrading to get to a certain level, you should always go and use this method. Yeah. So in summary, these are the basic principles you use to trade. Have multiple places where you would look for people willing to trade with you with the combination of trade bot sites. Now let's talk about the interesting part, how to make profit. Here are some of the basic principles you can use to make profit. Now, investing is something that got really popular, and because of that popularity, it's becoming less effective. Investing means you're acquiring a certain number of items that might go up in value in the future. This way you get them for cheaper, and after they reach a price where they nullify the Steam community tax, every cent above is pure profit. But how do you know whether or not the item will go up in value? Well, you can't know for certain. Sometimes it's apparent that the item will go up, but sometimes it's just pure luck. You have to observe the behavior of the item on the market, things like Steam charts and how many were sold and bought in the last 24 hours, and then combining the information that you acquired, you can make a decision whether or not you should invest in the item or not. Normally, the basic thing, the most mainstream thing, people usually bulk up items from the recent major. Things like stickers and sticker capsules are bound to go up in value at some point, but because so many people have done this with the Berlin major, the prices are relatively still the same and it will take a long time for them to go up in value again. You can also invest into the old cases that are recently going up in value. The cases like the breakout case went up 15 cents in the last few months, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you had a few cases lying around, or if you just bulked up while they were like 3 cents, you'd be now profiting 23 cents per case, which is not a bad deal. But what if you just don't want to bother with buying skins in bulk and items in bulk and risking losing your money, and you just want to spend cash on an actual skin? You'd probably go out and put that cash into your Steam wallet and just buy a skin off the community market. But that's not a good idea. It's only a good idea when an operation comes out or an event like Steam sales happen, which cause people to quick sell their skins for less monies, and you can easily find something for cheap that somebody is quick selling fast. However, these events don't happen often, so you'll be probably buying the skin off the market for their real value. What I strongly recommend you to do is to buy a skin off a skin selling website like SkinBaron. You should always be careful when you're putting your money on a website, and always check the reputation before you do so, but SkinBaron is 100% legit. The skins on SkinBaron and on other websites like these are way cheaper. You can find many different varieties of the skins, like the rare skins with Kato stickers from 2014, and this is the place for you to cash out if you're looking for items for real cash. If you compare the prices on the SkinBaron and on the Steam market, you will see just how much cheaper the skins are on SkinBaron. And the reason being is that on SkinBaron, the money goes directly to the seller of the skin, and of course the website takes a small portion, but the seller gets the most of the money, and he can choose to put that money on his PayPal or on his bank account. On Steam, the money that you get from selling the skin goes to your Steam wallet, and you cannot take money off from your Steam wallet and put it into your bank account. The only thing that you can do with that money is to reuse it for another item on the Steam market, or you can buy a game off the Steam store. But this way, if you buy a skin off the SkinBaron or on another website, the price difference on the website and on the Steam market is pure profit, which you can use in your trading quest. This last one is kind of like an advice for everyone, especially those who are starting out in trading, people who do not want to invest money into their inventories, or just people who have smaller inventories. Saving your wallet money is really important, assuming of course that you can sell items on the market, but by being patient and waiting for that money to stack up to a certain number, then buying a skin and using it in trades is how you can increase the chance of reaching your goal. This means that you sell things like cases and other CS items that you get from drops, for example, items from other games like Team Fortress 2, and also selling trading cards from different games that you have. Even if it is as little as few cents, by saving up and waiting to reach, for example, €3 and then buying a skin worth that amount, instead of just spending money as soon as you get it, or buying a 50-cent skin, is really smart, because now you can use that skin as even your starting skin, or as an ad to your trades with other people. Or you can go to a bot trading site, find a good deal, put the skin that you just saved up your money for as an ad, and then upgrade. This way you're not investing any money, your inventory is increasing. Even if it is super slow, it is worth it. With a 7-day trade ban, trading is a lot more difficult, and successful trading requires a lot more patience. Patience and persistence is the key. By making careful, patient, and smart decisions, you can reach your trading goal. Maybe it will require quite a bit of time, but it will be worth it, trust me. The flexibility you have once you've reached your goal is amazing. You can turn a few pixels into real life dollars. Thank you everyone for watching. This was sort of like a list of basic principles. Of course, there are 1,000 more tips and tricks in trading and making profit, and if you have some, please share them in the comments below. All the websites I have referenced in this video will be linked in the description. And I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please do me a huge favor and sub to this channel. It really means a lot to me. Until next time, peace out.